Page 2 now. Never Trump now has billionaire backing. Massive amounts of cash are being spent from coast to coast trying to secure convention delegates who would oppose Donald Trump. Our Principles PAC is at the center of the movement to steer, by rule, the Republican nomination away from the front runner.
So we have a rigged system. So in Colorado, they were going to vote. And you saw what's happened in Colorado. It's one of the big things. It's a fix. Because we thought we were having an election, and a number of months ago, they decided to do it by, you know what, right? Right? They said, we'll do it by delegate. They said they're going to do it by delegate. Oh, isn't that nice? And the delegates were all there, all waiting, and the head guy, in fact, one of them tweeted out today or said today by mistake, and then they withdrew it, something to the effect, see, never Trump. Look what we did. Never Trump. Because if I go to the voters of Colorado, we win Colorado. So it's a crooked system.
Meantime, in Arkansas, Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz supporters are teaming up and selecting delegates who will not support Trump during a contested convention. So, what's going on here? Why is Trump being outmaneuvered? And why is Team Trump so nakedly, apparently, unprepared for this delegate fight, which has been part of the process since Abraham Lincoln won the nomination in 1860? Joining me now from Johns Creek, Georgia, political consultant with the Weathers Corp, Seth Weathers. Seth, the art of the delegate deal, that's what this is. Ted Cruz is a newcomer, of course, running to president. Donald Trump is a newcomer running for president. Is the Trump campaign blowing the art of the delegate deal?
Well, I think that Ted definitely has a little bit of he definitely has an upper hand in the area. He's more familiar with the party process. I mean, he has been through it there in Texas in the past. Trump obviously is new to it everywhere. And Ted has done it well and done it ruthlessly, and you can't fault him for that.
All right, we heard Donald Trump talk about Colorado, how, for the life of me, I don't understand why Colorado did this, but they went from a caucus system to just a straight delegate system or something of that nature, where there's a lot of lobbying and possibly arm twisting and deals being made. But the bottom line is the key part of Donald Trump's statement was many months ago Colorado made this decision. They made it back in August. So all of the folks in the campaign were alerted to this. So shouldn't have all the campaigns, including Donald Trump's, been on board trying to figure out what to do?
You know, I think that's right to some extent, but I think also the other aspect of that, because of the way the party set it up, what I typically refer to as the activist establishment, like they set it up there in Colorado, is the delegates are going to go to people that are longstanding within the party and that have been there and been through the process. So even if Trump had piled on a bunch of new people, they still weren't going to be delegates. They still weren't going to be able to select who the nominee was going to be. So, you know, maybe they could have done a little better, but I don't know that they would have been able to play well in that environment regardless.
And that brings us to another point. You know, of course, delegates are chosen different ways in virtually all 50 states. For example, in California, you apply through the campaign. So if you want to be a Trump delegate, you have to apply through the Trump campaign. Was the Trump campaign and is the Trump campaign set up for something like this?
I hope that going forward they will be. Obviously, they've had issues with it in the past, and I think that's why you see Manafort's been brought on to the Trump campaign, somebody who has a lot of knowledge, extensive knowledge from the delegate process, and was very heavily involved in the last time we had a brokered convention in '76. So I think that going forward, I think that they do realize that there has been an issue and that they've not been well prepared and that they needed to step up the game a bit.
And let's face it, the Trump campaign was on a roll at one point early on in this process. Do you think a little bit of overconfidence may have set in?
Overconfidence with Donald Trump, I can't even imagine it. I think that probably well could have been part of it. I don't know that they thought that they were going to be in a situation where we were going to be picking apart delegates to see who would turn out to be the victor. I think everyone, so a lot of the people in the campaign thought that the victories were going to be so huge and so large that we weren't going to come down to this. And obviously things have shaped up a little differently here in the past few months.
At some point, do you have to look at the campaign manager, the Corin Lewandowski, and ask him, hey, how did this happen? Why did